Hey everyone, Mherex here, bringing you another video. This one we're going to be taking a look at my Hall of Fame Macho. I do have both gears. You can see one gear adds 1 multiply strength, second gear adds 3 more for a total of 4. So obviously the more you have, the better. Also, part of the reason I'm doing this, I do have the moment. That doesn't really affect him. Matchy match doesn't matter. Finisher isn't big, so I don't really care about the Hall of Fame moment, not doing a lot. But one of the reasons I'm doing this video is because on the prize wall, midweek prize wall, there's a bunch of gears this week, and one Macho gear is 3,000. Second one is quite expensive, 21,000. So you're probably not getting there, but maybe you already have the gold gear. I don't know. Maybe you'll get it in the future. So I figured I would just do this video and show you. I'm also going to do a Goldberg one. My Goldberg has 1 gear. This gear is very reasonable and it is quite impactful on Goldberg. We'll also be taking a look at the LA Bite on Macho, which is on the prize wall. It's also on the Showdown store prize wall, 250,000 currency. You just have to wait for it to show up. We're not going to start with the LA Bite on. Again, we're on my roster here, my account, my Macho. He's max stars, but he still needs 40 levels, which means he's going to hit 12% harder if you max his levels out and have all of his stars filled. So you can basically add about 12% to everything we're seeing here. I will kind of add that in. We're going to start off with his friendliest entourage and move up from there. So, like, we're going to use Strowman, who's 2 yellow, 2 multiply, and then we're going to use 2 free-to-play zombies in Gunther and Chelsea. They add 60%. Gunther helps on the blues. And Kofi. We're going to use Macho's. Macho is basically like a less powerful Jacob. So if you don't have Jacob, or you do have Jacob, but maybe not all the stuff for Jacob, but you have all the stuff for Macho, there's that. Plus Macho has a reversal built in, which can be quite handy going against superstars that increase their gem damage. So we're going to run the 6 MP running Bionic Elbow. 100k damage, bottom 4 rows, multiply gems of strength 3. It's also that reversal. If the opponents increase their gem damage, deal 1.8 million damage and steal the opponent's turn. Diving double axe handle, 105k damage, choose a 7x1 area to swap into blue gems. Pin bar will not move. You can see very reminiscent of Jacob. And then finisher, deal 260k damage and choose a 7x3 area to swap into yellows. The difference is Macho does yellows, Jacob does purples. Jacob has bigger multiplies and more of them, but the gameplay loop is pretty much identical. Strap for this one, we're doing 100%er, Nightmare Plate. Nightmare Plate, a lot of places you can and possibly have gotten that already. Feud chests, it's been on lots of prize walls. It's adding 100% yellow gem damage when we make 6 or more multiply gems, which we will do. So yeah, let's get out here, take a look, so you guys can see what Hall of Fame Macho does with both gears. Keep in mind, if you don't have both gears, you're going to have 4 smaller multiply gems, which is definitely going to be noticeable. So you would only have 5 on this without both gears, 6 with 1 and 9 with 3. This procs the multiply gem, and I mean, like, so Macho people a lot of times will go lower, try and get matches, swipe and stuff, but generally you know, you want to just drop it on the top. And that does 20 million damage, and then hit your finisher. So that 12% would be like 20, let's see, 1.2, so like 22 we would have done there ish. We'll just call it. And then here you can see 44. So another, call it like 70 million total maxed out probably. You can see we didn't quite zero Sammy, but close. It's very easy gameplay. You only have to place the no move pin bar 1, so that's kind of nice. It's probably slightly faster than Jacob, but obviously less harder hitting. And that's very standard, right? Damage for that setup. So let's run one where if you have Sherry, then you can swap Santa in. So we'll run Sherry, and then instead of Chelsea, we'll put Santa right here. this is going to give us bigger multiply gems for sure. So let's get out here, and we were 9, and I think this brings us to 11, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this moves it up to 11, so we should see a bigger increase. Uh, 21 million, so yeah, a slight increase. We were at 20. And the yellow should be even better, I think. And 50. So that was like 71 total. Add on 12%-ish. You're at about 80 million that way. Pretty good, right? Pretty good. Definitely moving up. Let's try Strowman with Leo and Zombie Punk. This is another solid setup. You have a lot of different multiply trainers you can use on him. Obviously, the previous build set, you would use Punk over Gunther if you have him. Zombie Punk, right? So, but we're going to use Leo. We're going to use Punk. And then we're going to use Strowman again. So we don't need Santa. This should give us times 12s with the extra yellow percentage here. So this should be better on a couple different levels, really. Let's see how we do. Also has the added benefit of not using Santa. And 21.8, so almost 22. You can see it's pretty similar to the previous one. And 57, so 57 and 22, 59, 79, 80. That's probably about 88 mil maxed out, right? Total. And then this should be his absolute best, I believe, in my testing, where we run Sherry and Leo with Santa. So a lot of different ways you could run it, depending on what you have, what you like to do, how available Santa is. And then we'll toss the LA Bite Plate on, which will give us 100% more gem damage, and see where it gets. So this is going to make the bottom 4 rows into multiply gems of strength 14, so quite nice. And that was 21.9 on the blues. So we'll call that 22 even, and cascade there, 58. Really, this one and the one previously are basically a wash. They do about the same. Because Punk adds so much more than Macho. So they're really about the same, about 88 million. They're pretty much interchangeable if you were maxed out, 88, 90 million. So I actually prefer to run this one because then I don't need Santa. So that's my preference. But let's see how much, since we're at right around like, we were like 59, and we'll just leave this on. We're at 59 and like 22. So let's put the LA Bite on and see how much it adds. And that'll give you an idea of how much 100% adds. Mine's in use. We'll just eat the removal here. I have 2 of them. Take this off, Austin. For content. Right. So obviously we're using 2 yellow moves before the finisher. So we're going to generate 100% extra gem damage. On yellows, so not on the blue part. So that's the same, the 22. And then let's see how much extra it is on the yellow. 68. So that's an extra 10 million with that plate. You could basically extrapolate that same 10 million out onto the other ones. I'll run it one more time for you guys. That's about an extra 10 mil with that 100% gem damage, which would mean if you have a 150 strap, you're going to gain about another 5 mil on that. And if you have good substats, you know, and you get those up, I don't think I have any yellows on here. I don't. So yeah, you could get another 40% in yellow substats. You know, maybe you get another, potentially even maxed out another 5 million on top of this, right? And then Fury 3s and that kind of stuff. But let's just for funsies move to the Strowman loadout, because that's actually my preference. Because then you don't need Santa. And let's run it this way for one more run. And then I think we'll call that a video. So obviously Macho can still get it done when you're talking about going over 100 million with all this stuff. So that's, I think, worth commenting on. One of the best Hall of Famers. Pretty sure there's no other really good Hall of Fame acrobats, right? So yeah, so we hit 70 million, and that's without the 12%. So it's 20 and 70. We're at 90. The 12% puts us over 100. And you could get some better substats in Fury 3s, a 150 strap. I think it's possible in Feud you could end up doing 115 with crazy stuff and like your steps and all that. And he is pretty fast. He's still one of the better acrobats in the game, to be honest, with crazy stuff. I tend not to like Hall of Famers and in general, and I don't love multiply guys. Jacob's obviously better, but they both play the same. And I thought it was worth the video because his gears are in the store, so people might have an idea if they want them. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I do plan on making a Goldberg one showcasing one gear and what he can do with one gear, because that one gear is really cheap and it does make a big difference on Goldberg. So I'll do Goldberg as well. So let me know what you think in the comments, and remember to like, subscribe, and share, because that really helps me out. Other than that, guys, thanks for watching. Good luck out there. Yeah, Jose Macho, not too bad. Not too bad at all.